You've been around a lot of corpses? Is that normal? What, the feet thing? Yeah, the feet thing. Yeah, it happens. Well, I'm having a hard time concentrating. Can you do something about it? Like what? Kill him again? Welcome to Should You Watch This with a Popcorn Priest, a weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends, and a couple of guys who know Alcatraz inside and out take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Alcatraz. Only one man has ever broken out. Now 5 million lives depend on two men breaking in. In history, there's been many renaissances, but not like this. Welcome to the Cageaissance.
The Rock is a rock-solid adrenaline rush. Spectacular, sensational fun. The Rock rocks. Connery, Cage, Harris. The Rock, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
Joining me today is special guest and reoccurring guest, Mr. Green Poison Balls himself, JJ. Welcome to the show.
Yo, Popcorn. Excited to be back.
Yeah, we had a discussion after our beloved James Bond series, which, if you haven't listened to those, go back and listen to all 5 of our reviews of the Daniel Craig Bond films. And we got talking and we're like, what are we going to do next? We loved that series so much. And JJ brought up The Rock. And I was like, oh, I love The Rock. And then you asked me a subsequent question, which was, have you seen Con Air or Face Off? Which is like some weird, like...
Yeah, the unofficial Nick Cage trilogy.
Yeah, an unofficial Nick Cage, the Cageaissance. Yeah. So I was like, I put my head down low and said I had never seen Con Air or Face Off, which is a travesty, I think.
Egregious.
So we decided to start the trilogy with The Rock. And since I've seen it already, but I haven't seen it for a long time. Wow. What a nice time to come back and revisit it.
Yeah, I was the same way before I suggested it. I haven't seen this movie in a long time either. And man, it still holds up. Yeah,
dude. Cut your 30-year-long hair, keep your transponder chips at the ready, and let's try breaking into The Rock from 1996. The details for this one. A mild-mannered... Oh, let's see. Wait, we got to do this first.
Welcome to The Rock.
A mild-mannered chemist and an ex-con must lead the counterstrike when a rogue group of military men led by a renegade general threaten a nerve gas attack from Alcatraz against San Francisco. That's a long description.
It's long, but I think it's perfect.
I mean, it seems a little spoilery.
Yeah.
It's fine. It is good. It's a good description, but touch spoilery in my opinion. Directed by the Bayhem himself, Michael Bay, director of such hits as Bad Boys 1 and 2, A Few Too Many Transformers films, Ambulance, and who could forget the September 1990 video Playboy centerfold Carrie Kendall.
His best work.
Yeah, his best work. Top billed stars are Sean Connery, Nick Cage as Dr. Goodspeed. I love his last name, dude.
Dude, I love all the names in this.
Oh, no, not Goodspeed. Godspeed. Is it God?
No, his last name is Goodspeed.
Oh, Goodspeed.
But it originates from Godspeed.
Okay. Well, Godspeed for us.
Godspeed.
And also Ed Harris and Michael Biehn. And blink and you'll miss it, a young Jim Caviezel.
Stat.
He's like a chopper pilot.
Very little screen time.
Yeah, like seconds, but he's in there.
Yeah. And then he became Jesus, and
he did become our Hollywood Jesus. Thanks, Jim Jesus Caviezel.
JC.
Zil. Runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. Rated R. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says action. That's it. I love that, actually.
Yeah, we've talked about the genres before, and they get a little too crazy. So I like this one just simple. It is action.
It's action. And you know, it's funny. The older movies have more simple genre classifications. The newer movies are getting, like you said, a little obnoxious. And IMDb takes it one step further and says action, adventure, thriller, which I also agree with.
Those three work as well. Maybe it's the sign of times. You know, everybody wants to diversify, get more labels these days.
Yeah, we just need to simplify. Or we need to simplify our lives. We need to simplify the genres. Please. For my sake, it's less typing, okay? Speaking of IMDb, they give it a rating of 7.1 out of 10 from 26,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 67% from 73 critics and 85% from 250,000 audience ratings.
Those seem to be on point. I knew the audience would be higher than the critics, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't a cerebral film by any stretch.
I mean, yeah, I think it should have won some more awards, but yeah.
It's a roller coaster. It's a spectacle. That's what it is. And
massive spectacle.
Correct. Where to watch this right now, you can stream this on Hulu if you're in the United States, or you need to rent it, or better yet, buy the physical media. 4K Blu-ray if it exists. I don't even know if it exists. I didn't even look it up.
It doesn't. Just the Blu-ray. I'd give me the 4K.
What is the problem?
Yeah.
I think there's some conspiracy theory along the lines of grape Mountain Dew. Like, where is all the 4K transfers of these classics?
Agreed. I look into getting the Cageaissance, the three of them, and the only one on 4K is Face Off.
I'm glad that at least one of them is, but one out of three is not good.
Yeah. Nah.
Well, we can only hope. You ready to get into Popcorn Reviews the Reviews?
Let's do it.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
I got some short ones today, some short and sweet ones, but I still have three 1 out of 10s and three 10 out of 10s.
All right.
What do you want to end on? Because I know you want the whiplash.
I need that whiplash.
All right, you tell me what you want to end on. A high note or a low note?
High.
Okay. First 1 out of 10 comes to us from Tragic Laura, number 2.
Oh.
I'm assuming Laura is a female. I don't know. I'm just going to guess.
I hope she's doing all right.
Laura says, horrible. This movie is terrible. It's all ridiculous action and explosions. Has nothing to do with Alcatraz. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's on Alcatraz.
They filmed it, parts of it on Alcatraz.
Like on the actual place.
Yeah.
This isn't a documentary, Laura. We continue. Or she continues. The characters are poorly drawn. It's way too long, and the script is laughable. I was hoping that this movie would at least be a fun popcorn flick, but it's painful. This movie is terrible. It is all ridiculous action and explosions and has nothing to do with Alcatraz. I don't understand, Laura. You said this already. Why are you repeating yourself, Laura? Have you had a stroke? Okay, let's keep going. I was hoping that this movie would at least be a fun popcorn flick, but it's painful. That's like she repeated herself again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she did it 3 times. I didn't even notice when I read this. She just copied her first sentence 3 times to make it so that she could post the review. Oh my gosh, Laura, you tricked me. I just read your review twice, and I hate you. Moving on.
That review was tragic. This movie is the epitome of a popcorn movie.
Yes. She describes everything that it is, and then is mad about the fact that that's what it is.
Sorry, Laura. I hope she's doing all right, kind of.
I don't want to talk about Laura again. First 10 out of 10 comes to us from Chase. Chase with the AIS. Maybe it's Shays.
All right.
Shays, like a chaise lounge. One of the greatest action movies ever.
All right.
This movie is awesome. This is truly one of the greatest action movies of all time, brought to you by Michael Bay, the director in great action movies like, again, I'm not having a stroke like Laura did. I am reading it verbatim. He goes on to say, like Armageddon, Bad Boys, and Pearl Harbor. I could leave Pearl Harbor out of the mix.
Yep.
And the Jerry Bruckheimer, the producer. I like how he calls him the Jerry Bruckheimer.
I think that's how we need to refer to him, as the.
Yeah, I'm the Popcorn Priest. You're the JJ. Well, that doesn't work as well, but the producer of such movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, Crimson Tide, and National Treasure. I'm not a big fan of Michael Bay's movies because Pearl Harbor sucked. Okay, he comes back. H. Shays is a man after my own heart, but this is clearly his best movie. There is a great story, a great script, great acting, great special effects. It's funny, and it's also dramatic. The music is also great. I think it's the same music used in Pirates of the Caribbean. No, it's not. That came out way later.
Who was the composer? Did Hans Zimmer do this?
I think it's Hans.
Yeah, so Hans did Pirates too.
All right, maybe he's got a little...
Same guy, just different music.
A little sprinkling in there. It's good music. Overall, this is truly a great movie. I don't want to give anything away. This is a great movie. 10 out of 10.
I like it, Chase.
Yeah, Chase, he likes to say great a lot.
Well, it's a great movie, so.
It is. All right, our next 1 out of 10. One of the worst movies ever. So we go from the best ever to the worst ever. This is from Other Rick. I love to bring up this movie in casual conversation. Someone says, that was a pretty good movie. But after I point out 2 or 3 things, they usually admit that it is not a good movie in any way. The plot, okay. Please don't invite Other Rick to your party. What a buzzkill.
That's why he's the other Rick. Nobody likes him.
Yeah. Make sure to invite Rick, not the other Rick.
Exactly, yeah.
The plot has holes big enough to drive a Mack truck through. Soldiers who died in a declared war had their deaths covered up? Why? Everyone in the world knew here they were and what they were doing. A man is kept in prison for 30 years with no charges and no convictions and no one notices? A dozen men can steal a dozen weapons of mass destruction, including missiles, in 10 minutes with dart guns? SEALs can't figure out how to open a locked door? Listen, you get the idea. I can't get through 3 minutes of this movie without shaking my head in disgust. 1 out of 10.
Get out of here, other Rick.
Listen, other Rick. If you stop to think about a lot of movies that are fictional, okay? These aren't documentaries, Rick. You're going to have some issues. It's not real. It's entertainment.
It's a movie, bro.
It's a movie. Next 10.
And all those things, too, I feel like could happen.
I agree.
Like, not maybe to the easiness of the extent of the movie, but I feel like, there's probably some military cover-ups and some stuff goes down.
And I guarantee you there's people in prison that we don't know about and have been there for a long, long time.
100%.
That's the epitome of what that thing is. We don't know about them because if we knew about them, then they wouldn't be covert prisoners. Okay. The next 10 out of 10 comes to us from TM2. I don't know what that means. TM2. Terminator 2? I'm going to say that.
All right.
Accurate and to the point. I don't care what the critics say. I don't care what anyone says. This movie really rocks. I like what he did there. Pure entertainment. I don't need to watch Citizen Kane all the time. Oysters and snails. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Do you know what oysters and snails mean? What does that mean, dude?
I don't know, man.
Is that like a euphemism for something good? Maybe. Oysters and snails.
Oysters and snails.
All right, our last 1 out of 10 comes to us from Stephen J.J. Wood.
Okay.
I don't like that he has JJ in his name.
Yeah, man. I might have some beef with this guy.
His title of his review is An Insult to the Intelligence of Morons or Geniuses.
Oh boy.
Really? Exasperated, lost for words. No brains, no irony, just had to do the washing up to stop myself screaming at the screen. Okay, let's break this down. Steven decided to go clean his house because he couldn't watch this movie. How did they get this amazing cast to keep a straight face? Or have I missed the point completely? And this is the best movie ever made? Headache now. 1 out of 10. I think he also might be a little bit of a moron. He can't write well at all.
Can I call him the other Steven?
Yeah, we got the other Rick and now other Steven. This has been, I would say, one of the worst popcorn reviews I've ever done.
Some bad ones.
All right, here's the last 10 out of 10. A true classic that brings out the best in everyone. Brought to you by Evil is Back. This movie was great. Not only did it have a great cast, but a great plot. This movie has it all. A great car chase, 4 great shootouts, a really good fist fight, and more. If you're looking for a car chase movie, please go check out Gone in 60 Seconds. If you're looking for a movie with villains killing everyone, see Con Air. Uh-oh. That's next. If you're looking for great gun show and many one-on-one fight scenes, see Face Off. What? He has a premonition. He can see the future. If you're looking for just one film with all of that, then watch The Rock. Also, do not forget this movie came out before all 3 of those other great action movies. 10 out of 10. I thought that was a good lead in to what we're doing.
That was the best one. I'm glad we ended on that one.
Yes. Are you ready for should or shouldn't you watch this? All right, 5 reasons. I got 5 reasons, as always, of why you should watch The Rock. And I would like you to add to it if you wish. Number 1, if you like Raging Cajun, this is for you.
Oysters and snails.
Oysters and snails, baby. Number 2, if you like Sean Connery, this is for you. And number 3, if you like Michael Bay, this is for you. Like, these are 3 top reasons to watch this.
I like it.
Number 4, if you like over-the-top action movies, this is for you. And finally, the lines in this movie and how they are delivered by far outweigh the reasons to watch this, dude.
I'm glad you mentioned that one.
I know we kind of talked about not bringing up the lines until next week. I kind of want to do it right now.
What's your favorite one? Because there are so many good one-liners in this one.
Bro, here, I'm going to hit you with a couple. This is one of my favorites right here.
Thank you for that. We could have handled it differently.
What do you say we cut the chit-chat? A-hole!
I just love how he says, a-hole.
Yeah. Well, in the description, it says he's mild-mannered, right? So I like that Nick Cage never really... It really shows, like him saying a-hole, that he is really mild-mannered.
Yeah, he only swears twice in the movie. So I love that line. Here's another one of my favorites.
Mine car through the tunnels to the power plant, under the steam engine, that was really cool, by the way, and into the cistern through the intake pipe, but how, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell? I only ask because in our current situation, well, it could prove to be useful information. Maybe!
Dude, I've seen this movie so many times, and I literally will laugh out loud on most of these. Like, they still hold up.
It comes out of such left field, and I read that he was so adamant about this line, and Michael Bay is like, no,
Zeus's butthole line.
the Zeus's butthole line, and he's like, no, we cannot have this, and he threatened to cut it from the film, and finally he just gave in and says, all right, I'll give you that one, and it stayed in the movie.
Good call, Incy.
Let's see. It's got to be down in the watery areas.
You sure you're ready for this?
I'll do my best.
Oh,
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Carla was the prom queen.
Really?
really?
Yeah.
That's
So good.
by far my favorite of all of them. Do you have
I still say your best.
your best?
Still say that today.
Your best? What other ones did I miss?
I like at the very end. This is a spoiler.
Okay. All right.
Spoiler ahead, but when he's finding the guy with the rocket, and he's like, "You like classical music?" And he's talking about Owen John, and he's like, "Well, you you're the Rocket Man. And then he shoots him out to the water.
Dude, this is not, listen, it's not a spoiler because now all you're going to be thinking about is when does this happen? If you have never seen The Rock, now you're just got a treat that's just served up to you. So you're
There's
welcome.
a Rocket Man in it.
Yeah.
I like the when they're in the cells and he's like, I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just seeing that line over and over in different accents.
Yeah. It's really good.
And then there's some good ones at the beginning too, where Ed Harris, he locks up all the tourists.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the tourists is like, what kind of effed up tour is this?
I love that there's hostages. I love it so much.
Yeah, just some great comedic one-liners in this movie. That it's one of the best action movies that like has those comedic elements, I think.
Mm-hmm. Where you're laughing at him, but for some reason it cuts the tension, and there's got to be moments like that in real life where it's so crazy, but then you say something funny. Like I like that they put that in there, and it's so interesting that you've got a guy like Sean Connery, who's this, storied actor for so long, and he's even saying one-liners, but his delivery is so cool and calm and collected that it just feels awesome. I don't know. It's just so good.
Yeah. And I think that's hard to do. Like, have these amazing action sequences, and then, like you were mentioning, to ease the tension, have that one line that just kills. I think that's hard to do, and like they just pulled off this one.
Yeah, for sure that stuff could take you out of it or make you be like, okay, this is pretty lame, but it's good. It's all good.
Another spoiler, when Sean Connery throws the guy off the balcony.
Oh.
Then he's in the elevator with his his stylist.
Ah, yes.
And the stylist is like, all I care about is, are you happy with your haircut?
Yeah. The stylist was
Connery's
great.
escaping and just threw a guy off a balcony. So like just like that, where crazy stuff's happening, but there's just these great one-liners.
Yeah. I read about that people were freaked out. They didn't tell anyone around they filmed it at that hotel, and they actually dangled a guy over the side of the building. And people thought there was like a hostage situation in the hotel.
Oh, man. There's a guy dangling off the Residence Inn or wherever they are.
Yeah, whatever hotel that was. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Any other reasons why we should watch this, or lines?
All great reasons. Great cast, great action, great one-liners. I think you nailed it.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to By the Numbers.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
I don't have a ton of numbers, but I do have box office haul. What budget you think this is, if you haven't looked it up?
Ooh. So 96, right, you said?
Mm-hmm.
They filmed it on Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say at least 100 million, right?
That's pretty good. It was 75.
Okay.
Which is pretty high for 96. And
Dude, yeah.
also, this is Michael Bay's second film.
Yeah, it's coming off of Bad Boys.
Correct. So it's like, wow, that's a lot of money.
They believed in it, and it worked.
It did work. How much do you think it made?
Domestically, I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe triple that, like 300.
Oh, dude, that's pretty good, man. It was 326 million total. That includes international.
Oh, okay.
So domestic was 134, but international was 202. And I actually went ahead and did you a service by looking up the top 10 films of 1996.
Oh, man. I bet it's stacked.
Dude, you're going to lose your mind. 96 was pretty great, man.
It was a great year. Mid-90s, great movies. Is The Rock in the top 10?
Yes. The answer is yes. Okay, here we go.
Number one, can I guess?
You can guess.
Independence Day.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's exactly. I didn't even know it came out in 96, but that's number one. Guess what's number two?
Twister.
Oh my gosh. Dude, are you looking at the list?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
I just know, well, I know those two movies came out in 96 because I saw that they were nominated for Best Sound, which The Rock was also Oscar nominated for Best Sound.
That's true.
So I did see those two movies looking this up. So
Okay. Well, but you didn't know they were 1 and 2.
No.
Okay. That's pretty great. I love that. Number 3, do you want to take a guess?
Just give it to me.
Mission Impossible.
Oh, nice.
And then number 4 is The Rock.
Wow. What a quad right there.
Yeah, dude. It gets a little sketchy after number 4.
Yeah. What do we got?
I'll just rapid fire him. The Nutty Professor is 5.
Okay. Respect.
I mean, that's what the climate was. In 1996, you could have a comedy like Nutty Professor hit number 5 on the charts at $128 million.
Pretty much all original, though. I guess, Mission Impossible Nutty Professor kind of remakes, but no sequels in this so far.
Dude, number 6, Ransom.
Oh, I love Ransom.
It's really...
Give me back my son!
Give me back my son! Number 7, The Birdcage.
Okay. It's funny.
Number 8,
another comedy in the top 7.
Correct. We don't
Pure
have
comedy.
We don't have comedies anymore. They don't exist. Number 8, A Time to Kill.
Okay.
Which is
it's a John Grisham.
Yeah.
John Grisham book. Sandra Bullock.
Correct. Okay.
Which is, once again, that movie comes out today. It's a Netflix movie.
It's a Netflix movie. Most of these.
Not a top 8 crazy domestic box office haul.
Yeah. Nutty Professor, Netflix movie. Not even Ransom probably is not a main big time movie.
I don't know, man. It's so good, though.
Number 9.
Give me back my son! We just keep saying that.
101 Dalmatians.
What?
Yeah. I think it might have been re-released.
Yeah, I don't remember that mid-90s. I thought it was earlier, but yeah.
Yeah, wild. And then last one is The First Wives Club.
Wow.
I mean, that's telling of the time.
Yeah.
Crazy, though.
Rock number 4, though. Fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that high, but man, I didn't get to see it when it came out because I wasn't allowed to see the rated R's.
Oh, man. I lived in a small town, so I was able to see it in the theater at this time. And I think actually my dad took me, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. That's great.
And then, too, I had movie posters growing up in my room, and I had a Rock poster.
It's a pretty good poster.
Too, yeah. I think so.
All right, I only have a couple more numbers. This isn't really spoilery because we know, in the description, it talks about them breaking into Alcatraz, okay? So we know that's going to happen. So at the 1 hour, 22 minute mark, it took a while for Michael Bay to convince Nick Cage and Sir Sean Connery, to go underwater while flames blasted above the surface at that mark. But both actors eventually agreed. There are safety divers immediately outside of frame during the sequence. It was very frightening, adds Cage, and Sean wasn't very happy about it.
Wow.
And I read that Sean Connery was an executive producer, so he kind of threw his weight around in this movie.
I'm sure he did.
So
I heard he had to get his own house on the island.
Dude, this is what I read. I don't think I included it on my trivia next week, but he wanted them to build him a house on Alcatraz that he could just live in. And they're like, no, we're not, we can't do that. And then he ended up staying in his trailer and just sleeping there because he didn't want to go back and forth on the ferry. But he also had a hotel room, a penthouse suite somewhere in San Francisco.
Where he threw people off balconies?
Yeah, correct.
Whatever Sir Connery needs, give it to him.
Yeah. This surprised me. No wonder we have a really bad attention span in 2025. It's because of Michael Bay and social media.
You're blaming Michael Bay?
Yeah, average shot length. Guess what the average shot length is?
like seconds.
Dude, it's 2.6 seconds a
Yeah,
shot.
I guarantee you in some of those scenes, like the car chase scene, it's like half of a second. There's so many cuts.
It's wild. And then the median shot length is 2.5 seconds. That's the medium and the average.
There's some quick cuts. There's more quick cuts in here than a Tony Scott movie, I feel like.
Easily. Anyway, that was interesting. Okay, look, my last one.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Approximately, I love this number. Approximately 14 men take Alcatraz hostage in this movie. Once the first Alcatraz henchman is killed, I'm sorry, it's a spoiler, but I have to say it, by the SEALs in the shower room, there are now 13 men, which is the same number of men as the number of men who take the Nakatomi building hostage in Die Hard. In this movie, General Hummel has one more henchman who dies earlier in the movie from the nerve gas before the incursion into the Alcatraz. The first Alcatraz henchman killed, the only one killed by the SEALs, is seen during Hummel's debriefing of the men after first seizing control of Alcatraz, and his body is seen dragged off the balcony when Hummel and the other men are examining the SEALs. So I just like the fact that they're paying homage to Die Hard. And
yeah, respect.
This is Die Hard on an island. Like, we just need, can we just keep doing that? We did it. They did it so many times in the 90s. Can we do it more? We had Die Hard on a bus, Speed.
Connor's kind of Die Hard on a plane.
Correct. Exactly. And these are all bangers. Just take the formula and figure out another Die Hard. Let's do more of those. Okay. Body count?
Ooh, that shower scene. There's some people that die.
Spoiler alert.
I'm gonna say like 35.
That's pretty great. You're doing amazing. You are the number.
Good. Yeah.
You might have overtaken Sack Lunch with the guessing of the numbers right. It's very close right now. I don't have a spreadsheet, but you're up there.
All right, that's good to know.
It's 25.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's it. That's all the numbers I got, and that's all I have for this week. Is there anything that we missed before we go into spoiler zone? Well, more spoilers next week.
Yeah, I had some numbers because you know I love them numbers.
Dude, I love your numbers.
So Alcatraz was a prison from 1934 to 1963. So 29 years.
Wow.
And it's about a mile and a half off the coast of San Fran. So little information for you.
Okay, I like those. That's really good.
And then you mentioned too, which I like, the amount of Hummel's men. You said 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they take over 81 hostages. And then they demand $100 million. Hummel mentions too that he kind of does a good job of saying how he's going to spend that $100 million. And he's saying he's giving $1 million per those soldiers that died that weren't recognized. Correct. And then $1 million to like his crew, which is kind of a puzzle to me. Like, is that enough to like be a henchman and like commit a terrorist attack?
I think that's not enough.
I feel like I need more money. And another thing too, they had to leave U.S. soil. So, I mean, $1 million is still a lot back then, but I still think they needed to ask for more.
I mean, if you go to like Costa Rica, your money's going to go a long way.
That's true.
But yeah, you're sacrificing your citizenship, and you're never going to be able to go back to the country that you were born in. And the math doesn't really check out. Like, there's a lot of people that are spreading that 100 million around. Kind of think they should. I
think Hummel's getting some off the top.
Yeah, give me 200. Pump that number up.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because it's 2025 right now. I'm saying that because back then I still think they should have asked for more money.
Look what they had to go through. They had to like break in the chemical weapons heist. They had to steal the nerve gas, this most dangerous gas. They're risking their lives getting this gas, you know? Correct. They had to overtake Alcatraz. There's a lot of things they had to do. So, yeah, bump those numbers up. I think they should ask for a little more than 100 mil.
Also, these military guys, no offense, because I love the military, but they're not like financial advisors. They're probably going to spend that money too fast. $1 million's going to go quick. You buy a house or something, car, there's no more money left. And they're going to be spending it on other extracurricular activities. So that money's going to get burnt up quick.
Yeah.
I like that number.
My last number. So on the Cageaissance, I would like to give some crazy Nick Cage facts, And I want them to get like kind of crazier as we go through this trilogy. So this one's not as crazy, but in 2015, Nick Cage bought a T-Rex skull.
Yes.
A 70 million year old T-Rex skull. And he paid $276,000 for it.
I mean, do you think he still has it?
No. So it turned out the skull was actually stolen and he had to return it to Mongolia.
Oh my God. So he's out 270 million.
I mean, I don't know.
Or 270,000. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if you can get a refund on a T-Rex skull, but he doesn't have it. He had to return it to Mongolia, man.
It's like you're asking for your money back on a black market T-Rex skull. That's really funny. I knew he bought that, but I didn't know he had to give it back. That's sad.
Yeah. Don't worry. He's got some crazier stuff we can bring up later.
Okay. I like that. And by the way, you should go listen to our pod, not you and I's, but Sack Lunch and My's pod on. No, it's Cole and Taylor. We did the pod on Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's amazing. And I think they talk about a little bit of the Nick Cage kind of lore, but definitely not about some of his purchases.
Nice.
Keep those coming and keep them for our next pods.
Cageaissance.
The Cageaissance. All right, man. Anything else?
That's all I have for the numbers.
At this point, there will be some spoilers up ahead, so if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for our breakdown of Don't Put Those Green Balls in My Mouth from 1996. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. For the cost of a cup of coffee, you can help the Popcorn Priest support his movie addiction and allow him to keep you giving these labor of love reviews by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Easier than breaking out and then breaking back into Alcatraz. As always, thanks for listening. And thanks to my guest, the original Rebirth Alcatraz expert himself, JJ.
We'll see you next week, Popcorn.
I love it. We're going to talk a little bit more about Rebirth Alcatraz next week. But join us for part 2 of Your Best from 1993. We'll see you guys next week.